In terms of making with the rhythms of the world, I believe that even though I spend much time observing my environment, I still can't completely control it. But if I don't observe such an environment, I will never find out that I love the world and my environment so much. Those rhythms change my previous view of the world and the environment. Here is Flagstaff Garden, an environment behind my home. After exploring for 6 weeks, it eventually became part of my life. I usually don't spend much time in a fixed environment, but for weeks I spend 2 or even 4 days to perceive and explore the environment. I will pay attention to the weather every day and pay attention to every living creature in my line of sight. Every different rhythm makes me feel that the environment is familiar, but it has its system and way to exist. Therefore, the environment is changing. How can I observe it, how to treat it, and the environment will respond to me accordingly. Gibson in 2015 on page 10 defines that a changescaper is more concerned with systems than structures, which helps me to discover the whole system I go through. There must be absence and something complicated in the system when I'm exploring, and I need to consider the change of everything. I cannot control my environment. Many times I know that I can't entirely control the environment I shoot. Sometimes I want to shoot still leaves, but the wind stops me. Sometimes I want to look at the animals that appear at night, such as pigeons, but they move too fast. It is impossible to track. Every week I care about whether my audience can accurately capture the key rhythm I want to express in the video. I also care about how I use filming and editing to convey the different rhythms that surround the environment every week. I know that I don't do well every time, but at least through 6 weeks of perseverance, I have made continuous progress. According to Inglot in 2011 on page 70, it is a field not of interconnected points, but of interwoven lines. Not a network, but a meshwork. And I think that although things may seem independent, they are actually intertwined, integrated, and entangled together. After 6 weeks, the environment has changed a lot. In my opinion, it's not only the winter transition to spring, but also the wind and rain alternate. The sun and the moon change. People continue to be active in the environment. The plants in the environment are growing. The animals are growing, and I'm growing as an observer. Lore in 2007 on page 2 gives his proposal that the world is largely messy, and wonders imagine it more imaginatively. The explanation of mass gives me the understanding that everything is primitive. This, in a way, inspired me to explore the disorder in the environment, which is the notion I think of messiness. Everything completely presents. Our environment is real, natural, and messy as it changes over time. Maybe someone will get tired of exploring those kind of environment, but I really enjoy and fall in love with it. Everything in here affects the way I treat media. I want to know what the relationship between me and the environment is. Perhaps our understanding of the world and the environment will eventually become a perception of ourselves. The environment is sustainable, and the environment has its way of life. My relationship with the environment is not that simple, and it is not flat or unified. I am part of the world, and I'm part of the environment. My attitude towards the environment must make my will positively affect my behavior. Sometimes I even feel that I'm also a friend of the environment.